Hey guys, what's up? So in my last video I showed you how to use Quick Magic. If you're coming from Blender, if you're coming from Maya, if you're coming from certain animation softwares and you're looking for good motion capture um, replacement, or temporal replacement, it makes a lot of sense to patronize Quick Magic, right? And so this is the animation we created from the last tutorial. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it somewhere on this video. Please do well to go and look at it. This is the reference cake. I can't remember this guy's name, right, but I sort of like gave him a shout out in my last video because his videos are actually amazing, and I got this in 60 fps, which is really good for motion capture. And so I'm going to link this animation in this tutorial. So what I simply do is to click on download here, and since I already have it downloaded, I wouldn't have to. So now I'm in Cascadeur. Let's clean this animation up. So click on Manny because this is the guy I would want to transform my animation to. And what I would like to do in this project is go to settings and keep it at 60 fps because I got a 60 fps video and my animation is in 60 fps. So I want to go back home and I want to open a new scene that is empty, and then I will click on setting 0 so and set this to 60 fps. So since I already have my animation downloaded, what I will do is to click and drag in, minimize this. Right, so it has automatically entered rig mode, and all I need to do is just keep going. Yes, here I would advise you to read it. It helps to understand what you're doing. Yes, it's a humanoid character, and you can see that all my bones are properly mapped. I'm going to click on rig, add rig elements. Alright guys, so we have our animation data here, but we need to stretch this timeline. So I'm going to put it at 208, and then you could see the rest of the animation, the keyframes. S to minimize this point because we'll be using that a lot. So what I want to do now, you could totally start making edits to your animation here or cleaning it up, but I prefer to use or transfer my animation to the UE Manny and do my things there, or my cleanup there. So select the entire scene, which is like selecting all keyframes, and go to edit, go to retargeting copy, go here, make sure this is in the exact number to 208, drag everything out, click on UE Money, go to edit and retarget and paste, and so you have your animation here. So for memory purposes, I would like to close this, don't save. And for best practices, you should totally save your file so the system doesn't collapse, although Cascadeur hardly collapses. So now, we have our animation data here. Beautiful. The next thing we want to do is, okay, so we already have this at 60 fps, good. We want to bring in our reference, so we import reference video. Let's choose where our reference is. So this is where my reference is. If you try to import and it does this, couldn't create frames, simply go to where your reference is located, select folder, and import. Another thing is your video frame per second has to match the project's FPS. So if your video is in 24 or 30 FPS and this project is in 60 FPS, it's going to show you an error. So let's import, and it's going to take a bit of time to load. Right, so it has created a new timeline here or rather a new track for this. So I'm just going to go here and scale it up. click on this. Let's scale it up to match what we want. So maybe here is good enough. Bring it up a bit. In case you click out and you're looking forward to maybe reposition it, you could simply just click on mesh object and do your repositioning. It's that simple. So what I want to do first is to start from my first track 1, not 0, because 0 is like your A pose. And then what I would do is to play through the entire animation just to see where the problems are. Now, for the purpose of time, I am not going to correct every single one of this animation, but like I said earlier, I'm going to link this animation in this tutorial so you could use it to practice and learn cleaning up in Cascadeur. And I'm not going to go through every single tools here. If you want the beginner's guide for Cascadeur, please visit their website. They have really good beginner's guide. But I'm going to show you, say maybe as a noob, the basic tools that I use to work on. So let's just do, so instead of correcting the whole 208 frames, let's see here. Let's see the possible errors that we have here. Okay, say maybe here. All right, so this is where we would at least be attempting to make corrections on, right? So there's a foot slide here. We don't want that. Okay, let's start. So what we will do first is to unbake this animation. Yeah. Okay, so the first problem that I see here, aside that the fingers are total shite, is this. We need to fix this. And so how do we fix that? We could either, we could do this in several ways. We could look at where he has fulcrum points and fix the feet manually, or we could simply just use fulcrum motion cleaning. So I select everything, but this is definitely going to cause a little bit of problem. You still have to do certain manual work, but I mean, let's do it. So fulcrum motion cleaning would bring the feet up, right? Let's say before, this was before, and this is after. All right, let's go again before. So there's still one key and after. All right, so let's look through. But now the feet is no longer going underneath the ground. So let's start from here. What do we have here? Right before, so usually I would use the video as a reference guide, and it's also good practice to use the video as reference guide, especially when you're trying to get the exact animation. But for this purpose, I'm just going to fix errors, and I'm going to fix errors and give you like an exaggeration of what a cleanup should be, right? So we're going to try and clean this up. So let's say from here, before this happens. So in the video, he raises his leg up here, and that means we have to correct from here backwards, right? So let's expand this. Let's go down to legs, S to bring this out, and click this. So now we're here, right? From frame 1 to frame 22. And what I don't like here is this. You see, it's not really looking natural. So I would click on the interpolation edit mode. So what this simply does is it fixes all these keyframes all together, right? So Shift Z to what Shift Z does is it unlocks selected controller, so it gives you like the most natural states, the most natural pose for this state also. Right, so now it's looking natural, and let's just scrub through. So we see that right somewhere here it still has this, it has this turn, but we could always fix that, right? So let's first go to the back here. When he puts his leg on the ground or his feet on the ground, we have that unnatural yeah, pose from here to here. So okay, so from here, before he raises it up, right? So I want to also fix here. So I select the controller or the pointer and Shift Z, and it's going to do that for me, right? So now, like I said, this is exaggerated because I mean I'm supposed to follow the reference, right? But I'm giving you an exaggeration of what you could do. So we have this weird foot slide in here. We don't want that. So how do we fix this? Let me show you an example of something that I would do. Usually I would zoom all of this in, but I don't want to lose the frames or where I'm at. So between this frame and this frame, in the video the leg looks normal, but in the animation we have this weird slide. So what we're going to do is to activate the ghost states here, right? So previous ghost states, but we don't just want it to be on previous, we want it to be on the previous key, which is here, to see what we had before. And so we click on this key mode selection, and if I do this, if I move up like this, let's switch this thing off. Please always remember to switch this interval edit mode off so it doesn't spoil your work. So the previous ghost state says the leg is here, and I don't want that weird sliding, right? So what I would do is I've selected the exact point and click on the rotate, E for rotation, by the way. So I could do it this way, and now we have, it's cleaner now. So let's quickly take a look at how that works. We don't have that weird snapping anymore, although we still have something to correct there because I mean it's trying to raise his leg up here. So the thing about correcting animations in Cascadeur is you have to know how to pose characters. You have to understand what it is about. Posing characters is very, very essential. Let's move to, let's say, somewhere around the fingers. Now, how I usually like to do this is finish with the feet and then move to the fingers. So let's say I don't like how this thumb here is looking, or maybe I don't want his his fingers open this way, right? And usually I wouldn't want that for a specific selection of keys, but right now there are no controllers for the fingers. So what we do is go to here. So auto posing fingers, and now the fingers have appeared, right? So switch off, switch on. And so let's say I don't like the way this one is here. Now automatically has brought me to the fingers, but which finger are we on? So we populate, we select, we're on the left hand fingers. So let's say from this frame to this frame, I want the fingers open wide. What I would do is, yeah, what I would do is select from here to here. And now one thing you can see is the motion trail. You can see the motion trail, so you could make certain switches the way you want. I would click on this interval edit mode, and let's say I bring it out, and you can see that the trail has changed. You could also press Shift Z to correct it. give it the most natural states. Let me just make some few edits on how I would want this to be. So you could go here, put it in local mode, stretch it out. All right, that's something to do too. So let's say I want to fix this guy. I could use Shift Z to give it the most natural move. Look, these point controllers here are locked. So if I move this, it won't affect these guys. But let's say I put them in their most natural states. Once I move this, they all seem to move with it. Right, so you could totally make a fist. The reason why the thumb isn't moving is because it's also locked. So you could make a fist, but now what this has affected is just these two keyframes. Right, so coming out from, see, it's still totally shitey. Coming here, you could see that now. Okay, so we have a problem here. I don't know why this happened, but we could also make certain corrections. So instead of maybe making corrections there, you could easily just shift mid scroll button and leave it here. So the hand pose or finger pose would move from frame to frame. So that's one way to correct it. Let's just do something for the head here. So let's say, oh, I don't like the head. It's the way the head is looking here. I mean, why would your head be looking like this? Simply drag these guys, click on this and move the head. Now obviously this guy is like making a tutorial and all. So one thing you can do is rotate the head with the head selected. You need to get this guy, click on this and move the head as you like. This is going to affect some things, but let's see. Okay, so yeah, it worked out actually the way we want. So that's how you actually go correcting animation in Cascadeur. It's quite easy and fun, but I mean, you have to like puzzles. You have to like puzzles because I mean, so I'm assuming here now this leg is up. Let's just do a quick one here, just for the fun of it. So let's go to the legs. So here, if you look in the reference, his leg is down, and here he put his balance on the leg in the back, right? And then he raises this one up, but what the motion capture data saying here is this is what it looks like. So what we can do here is select the keys right from where the leg is doing this thing towards its turning before he puts the weights back in the front, right? Somewhere here good, and we could do this and Shift Z to give it the most natural state. I don't think it will affect the turning exactly, so the rotation is still there. We have a problem here though. We will fix this in a bit. Okay, so say maybe we want to fix this guy in the back now. We have this problem. On this particular key, we could say Shift Z to give it the most natural state. So he's supposed to be putting his leg in the back. So between this frame and this frame, his leg goes up, right? It comes back rather. Well, it does go up, but yeah. So what you need to do is select this particular frames where, I mean, go back here, yeah, let's toggle the previous ghost state for key. And then you could move this backwards and do some rotation there. No, that's rubbish. You could totally do some rotation here instead. But yeah, now if you notice that I've been making a mistake because I've been editing on just one key. I didn't put this on. So when you are editing motion capture, you have to be vigilant and you have to think of it as a game. You're going to make a lot of mistakes, but you're also going to have fun in the process because I mean, it's usually fun, right? So I hope you've learned something from this. Sorry I couldn't do one full cleanup with you guys. This place is total shite. This this is a mess. But yeah, I will attach this animation to the tutorial like I said earlier, and you guys could go and practice. If you want to watch beginner's guide on cleaning up animation in Cascadeur, you could go on their website, go on Cascadeur's website and check for tutorials, and you're going to see a ton of tutorials that would help you. Thank you for spending the time with me. If you like my content, please subscribe. I hope to do more like this, and I hope I'm actually helping someone. Alright guys, bye.